Welcome to our weekly Survivor vlog. It is 2.5 brains because there's two of us, and between the two of us we have 2.5 brains. We're here to talk about episode 2 of Survivor. It was a fun episode. It was an episode of Survivor. It wasn't the greatest of all time, but it was still pretty straightforward. We're going to talk all about it. Who did well, who didn't do well, the big moments, the slow moments, everything in between. So we're going to go ahead and dive into that. Before we get started, everybody make sure you subscribe so you get everything, all our updates, and you don't have to search for it. It'll be right there. If you just go ahead and subscribe to our channel. You can email the show at YoGrabAGabba, or tweet me at YoGrabAGabba. You can email the show at pavementroadproductions@gmail.com and follow us on Twitter, like I said, and like us on Facebook at Pavement Road Productions. Let's get started here. We are very excited. Next couple weeks, we're looking to add some guests to the show, perhaps, or get more feedback from you, the viewer. So definitely tweet us and Facebook, and comment below, email, all those things. And if you want to be on the show, you gotta have a take. You can't be sitting here. You gotta have some updates for us. So gotta give us your feedback. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you're liking about the show, about our show, about the show Survivor, and we have some opinions. So if you want to be on our show, you want to be a guest, comment away and send us some feedback so we know that you're the right candidate. So let's go ahead and bring in the better half of the show. Definitely the better looking and more entertaining part. Let's bring in Jessica. Come on in.
Don't know how much I agree with what you just said, but that's okay.
Welcome to the show. It's my show. I can say what I want. So, all right. So let's go ahead and get started here. It was the episode of Survivor this past week. Pretty much the same as the normal episode. Wasn't anything too crazy, nothing major. But a good slow burn the first couple episodes. And we're here to talk all about it. The move that was made, the move that wasn't made, and all the good, bad, and ugly of Survivor episode 2. So let's get started here with episode 2 of season 38 with the boot of Keith who went out this past week. So what as we start here, what do you think? What do you think about the first episode? What do you think about or the second episode? What do you think about how this turned out? Just quick, brief thoughts.
About the boot, I mean, I guess in the long run they made the right choice for them. They want to be strong. They want to win immunity challenges, and that'll work. I didn't really know how they were going to go. Either way, it could have went either way.
Yeah, I didn't either. I mean, it would be interesting to see. I mean, I'm interested to see if they're doing exit interviews this year and how that'll all work, because I would like to see what the actual thought process was. Who when Keith got voted out, does he know why? Does the people, the players who vote out Keith? I'd love to see next episode, because it seemed pretty we're going for Wentworth, and all of a sudden, War Dog's like, no, I want to go for Keith, and everyone's like, I don't know, and they all went with Keith. It wasn't even close.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Chris is the one that really was trying to. He was trying to protect Keith, and I felt like David and Rick were going to go on with it to get rid of Wentworth, but
it just didn't happen. So I was kind of surprised by that. I mean, it definitely seemed like it was a lot. They were saying it's gotta be Wentworth, and then ended up being Keith. And like I said, usually right when the confessional, right after the challenge, usually whoever they say is going home isn't the one who goes home. And that right after the challenge, they're saying, it could be Wendy, could be Wentworth, but it's probably going to be Keith. So that means it's probably not going to be Keith.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe it would be Wendy or something like that, but or Wentworth. But it ended up being Keith, yeah. And as I said, they usually do a couple of those a year to keep you on, keep you from knowing what's going on. But it's interesting. So let's go ahead and get started here. I have 3 big moments again, just so anybody who's new to the show. 3 big moments, the moments that are key, storylines throughout the whole season. It's over the course of the whole series, something big that's kind of overarching over the whole season or series. Then we go to the 3 key moments, which are key to this specific episode. Then we have our bottom 3 and top 3 of the week. So as we always do, let's start with the 3 big moments, and we'll start off with number one, which is the Edge of Extinction. Jessica, tell me what you think so far about the Edge of Extinction idea, the twist. How's it going for you so far? What are you thinking about it?
It's okay. I don't know if I really like it. I don't hate it, but it's confusing. They say they have to work hard, but what the hell do they do? Like, what are they there to do to get back? When are they going to get back?
It's I mean, as somebody who's seen the Redemption Island seasons, I have an idea, but it does. It seems like it's I'm guessing probably right before the merge or right at the merge.
Yeah, but it's like, what are they doing there? And like, yeah, you have to work hard, but what are you working hard for? What are you trying to prove something? Like, how are you earning your way back? I don't understand that part of it yet.
Certainly, and it's hard to say. It's hard to say if are they making It seems like they have really nothing. They have to do is basically survive as long as they can.
Right.
And that's the actual survival aspect of it in a big way, but. It's hard to say. Are they making fire? Are they going to compete in a challenge? Whoever gets there, really hard to say. And why I just don't like. I feel like if you want to give more of the show, maybe do something online, just or on the CBS All Access. Put more information up there, more content about what actually is happening on that on Edge of Extinction, because. At this point, I'm at the point with Edge of Extinction where it's like either show us everything, show us a lot of time, and give us a lot of time on the episode, or put a lot of footage on the app, or just don't show it all. Because it's like I really don't know, and I'm not seeing enough to really know what's going on, so it's more just confusing than anything else. And it's kind of, to me, it's like, why are we wasting our time with something like this? And we don't know what is actually going on. We don't have enough information about what's going on. So they're just kind of laying something in here that isn't really anything that's too impactful so far. So it could be more. I'm sure eventually will be something, but it's the title of the season, so you think it have some sort of impact, but it doesn't necessarily mean anything. We know themes are pretty much useless 95% of the time. So number 2, one thing I hated. I'll let you say what you think of it. Cliffhanger with Keith. That was number 2 big moment of the season. I've never seen it before. I mean, there's been a little bit here and there of. Did this person, whatever. There's been occasional cliffhanger episodes with Survivor, but they don't do that much. It's reality TV. You don't really have cliffhangers. It did it here. What did you think?
I mean, it doesn't really affect the actual show that much, though. I mean, if he stays, he goes to Extinction Island. Nobody has any idea he's there, and he's just gonna go hang out with Reem, one of those, and. I don't know. It didn't really matter to me. It's kind of whatever, I guess. Starting the next episode, finding out what he does.
Yeah, to me, I mean, and they do that sometimes too. Obviously, they make up right after Tribal Council and talk about what happened when they got to camp and that stuff. Here's my thought. I agree with you. It doesn't really matter, because if he says I'm gonna go and continue my adventure, I'm gonna go home. I don't see very many people going home. I see most people just trying to go to that island and trying to fight their way back in. But the decision is, is he gonna stay and go to Edge of Extinction Island, or is he gonna go back in or just leave? And the players don't really know that these people are still on the island, so they're they vote them out. They don't ever see him again,
right?
Which is a nice little wrinkle in the game. But my thought is, if it doesn't really matter, which I agree with you, it doesn't really matter if they go or stay, why even have it?
I don't know.
Like, why?
You want to make people intrigued on what's going to happen? Like,
I guess, but like, for me, the cliffhanger, it's just a waste of time. Like, is he going to go? Is he going to stay? Who cares?
Yeah, no, I agree with
that. Just end it on, did he stay? Did he go? They're getting too cute with editing. I don't like it. Just is he going to stay? Is he going to go? Okay, he stayed. Okay, he left. Okay, great, cool. Unless something is going to happen next episode that's like, wow, that was amazing. Maybe it will. Maybe something crazy will happen with that. He'll whatever. He'll just disappear and whatever. Aliens will take him. I don't know.
I don't really think about that. Maybe he'll actually leave. Maybe he won't want to continue.
Okay, then show it now. Who cares? I don't know. That's my thought. I just think it's dumb.
Yeah.
Speaking of Keiths, he's the worst Keith ever played statistically, which is good. We had Keith and Whitney from South Pacific. Keith made the merge, and then got married to Whitney and lost because he got married to Whitney. Keith from season 2 went out third. And then Keith Nall, everybody loves Keith Nall as a big Nall male. I love Keith as well. So yeah.
Snail now.
No, just Keith Nall male. But that was a big one. The cliffhanger almost never happens. The whole series, I count maybe one-handed times it's happened. And for something that's not earth-shattering, I just don't think it was needed. I think they could just ended it. And if they're gonna go, they used to do it too when they had, Redemption Island. They have a person show up at Redemption Island and that stuff. Mm-hmm. They would read the votes over the person speaking, and then they'd come back after before the preview or whatever, after the preview, and have the person go to Redemption Island. Mm-hmm. In this case, we didn't get to see who voted for whom. I mean, we can probably guess, but I want more information. I need more information to analyze the game,
right?
Which we're not really getting because we're spending too much time with stupid Edge of Extinction Island. We need a name for that too. I mean, they started calling it Redemption Island Red Eye, which is fine. But we need X-Eye. But that's Exile Island, those that had Exile Islands, that's different. So Edge Eye, it sounds kind of weird. JHI, there you go, Super Bowl champion. Go Birds. All right, so third big moment of the episode here of the week. Lauren finds an idol. Now, Lauren finding an idol isn't necessarily earth-shattering either, but as we learned last season, and something I've talked about for a long time. When Angelina found the idol last season, she was 15% of players who find the idols, which is females. It is, and it was it was a lot of that with this episode, and it's building. I'm starting to wonder if it's starting to build towards a female winner again, because a lot of these type of seasons, like I said, start off season women win these type of seasons more than any other type. Mm-hmm. But I'm wondering, I'm intrigued because Julie was talking about it with the ginger. I can't remember her name. She's not memorable, but she's a ginger. I should know this, but I don't. They were talking, about how women never find idols, and how Julie was out looking for it, and women are always back at camp, or they're chatting and building and things. Right, but you can't discredit the social game, and that's why I feel like a lot of women are under-edited on Survivor. It's something that I've talked about for a long time, that women don't get enough airtime on Survivor. Mm-hmm. And I think a big part of it is because they're way more social. Look at most of the female winners. Most female winners win based on social games. Mm-hmm. And a lot of female winners are under-edited.
Trying to say that females like to talk a lot.
No, I'm saying they're more likable, they have more better rapport.
Yeah.
But yeah, they talk
and they
more.
Like talk a lot.
Sure. And that's what even what Julie said though. She said we're talking about finding idols, but people are actually going looking for it.
Right.
But I think it's like, for example, Wendell over Dominic. I've said I thought Dominic would play a better game that season, but it's hard to say because you can only see what you're seeing on the show, and you can't. Social game is so hard to show on TV. Mm-hmm. A little conversation somebody has with somebody that changes their whole idea of how the person plays or how the person is. You can't really show that on TV. Right, so the social game is the hardest thing to show on TV.
Yes.
And so it's like, a strong female character, she might do really well on the show, may win, and she won't get the airtime as somebody else who's a loud, outspoken guy. Because a loud, outspoken guy who's just being a loud, belligerent idiot, at least you can show that. There's something to show. There's footage of that.
Females get the cut because if they're having showmances, that's when you see more about the females that I've seen.
True, yeah, and the problem is 95% of the time the woman gets the one who's voted up because they need the guy for the challenges.
Right.
And it is what it is. But I've said, I don't think Survivor's sexist or racist. I just think it's one of those things where it's kind of primitive society, and it's kind of how it ends up being. Not a lot of guys are weaving palm fronds. They're going out looking for wood and trying to catch food and stuff, and that's where the idols are usually hidden. Mm-hmm. So it's and if a man's going out looking for an idol, aka looking for firewood and gathering food, it's not suspicious if a woman is.
Yeah.
A girl's back at camp, she should be at back camp, putting together the shelter and making food and cleaning. That's what the thought is, and it's not true.
I don't agree with that.
I don't either. Not in the least. I don't either. But that's what, if you go through, if you see a girl go out, like, how often do you see the women go out and spearfishing and that kind of stuff?
Almost never.
Almost never. because it's just not thought of something that happens. And the men are the providers, women are the ones who do, take care of the camp. It's just the way it was back in primitive days, right?
Yeah.
And it's dumb. I don't agree with it.
The Stone Age.
I don't agree with it. It should be that way either. But when you're back in you're kind of in primitive living conditions, it kind of reverts back a little bit, and it's unfortunate. And I would love this. That's why I love to see them hide idols at camp. I'd love to see them hide idols at a challenge. I'd love to see them hide. They've done that stuff. But not as much.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see them hide idols at even at tribal council, something weird where everybody has an equal shot to get.
Yeah.
And that's why I hate the fire thing, because yes, you should be able to make fire if you're on Survivor, but it's like it favors the more rugged outdoor guy, and that's not necessarily
technically, but I mean Angela didn't really help with that.
Sure,
so.
Right, I agree, and I also feel like it's you going out and making a fire or whatever. I think Survivor should be able to play the game you want to play, not the game that they want you to play. They shouldn't put you in a box and say, here's how you have to play the game. I think it's better when you just let people do what they want to do, and if they're like, hey, I think this is I'm going to play a social game to get everybody to like me, I'm not gonna leave camp at all. I'm just going to sit there and talk to people all day.
I mean, I see it both ways, though. It's the show, so if you can't really do what's on the show, then do you deserve to win Survivor?
Oh, and that's why it's such a tough, every jury votes differently, every player plays differently. That's what we were saying, with voting out Wentworth or voting out whoever, voting out Keith. Well, who favors whom? Wentworth's the threat to who, or Keith's the threat to who? So it's different criteria of who you vote out, and that's why it's such a tough game to play, a tough game to win, tough game to break down and analyze.
Yeah.
And that's why we're here. So let's shift gears now to the three key moments talking about specifically this episode, and let's get into the open idol search. So obviously we started the episode with they're talking about Wendy trying to go look for an idol because she's back against the wall. Mm-hmm. So Wentworth is like, well, why don't we all just look for an idol, and one of us find it before Wendy does, and that way we know that Wendy doesn't have it because somebody else has it.
Right.
What do you think of this idea of the open idol search? It has not the only time it's ever happened, but it is a rarity. Mm-hmm. What do you think of that?
I mean, I guess it's a good idea, but then if everybody knows you have an idol, then they're going to start begging for you to play your idol for them when it comes time for, tribal, and that isn't best for you either. What if you need it for yourself? It just puts you in a weird spot, I think, that everybody knows you have it, but nobody knows that Lauren has it, so that worked out for her.
Right, I think that's a smart move for her, just to keep it hidden. Nobody, it's the open idol search. I think we just Wentworth's way of saying let's look because we're gonna look anyways. Mm-hmm. I don't really think it's the best idea.
Yeah.
But if Lauren was not a smart player, she would have said, "Hey, look, I found it. Look, everybody, we can vote out Wendy now because I found the idol." That's
right.
It's dumb. I mean, so I think what Wentworth's better move would have been is have somebody constantly follow Wendy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which they've done before too with
right.
Andrea and Malcolm. I think that'd been a smarter move, but I don't think it's the only move. Mm-hmm. I think they could have, But that's just a thought. Open idol search, something that is it's a thing. It doesn't happen a lot, but
yeah.
And I think for good reason. Moving on to key moment number 2 of the episode: the returnees are the targets. What do you think of that?
I don't like how. I don't know. If they're going to have returnees, like I talked to you about, they should have an entire season of everybody is a returnee. Because you have 4 returnees and then all their new players, and they're always, of course, they're going to target them. They're going to constantly say every single episode, well, they had their chance. It's our chance now. So, I mean, I get keeping them longer as a shield for people, but the show is all about these returning players. So, I mean, really, you're kind of giving away the airtime to them too. The more you talk about them, they're going to take it away from you. So I don't like this. I would rather see all returnees or just all new people. It doesn't work when you mix it.
I completely agree. Couldn't agree more. I think it's so true. The problem is with returning players, is that they do have the airtime. I mean, that's look at the last time they had one of the last times they had Karen Moen. It was fans' worst favorites too. Philip Shepard. Philip Shepard was. I mean, nobody really likes Philip Shepard. Fans, super fans, anybody. But he nicknamed everybody. He stole airtime. He was an airtime vampire. That dude would talk and get the camera on him. he would do something stupid just to get the camera on him, and everybody hated him. The returning players hated him because he was stealing their airtime. The new players hated him because he was stealing their airtime. The fans hated him because he was annoying in them and stealing everyone's airtime. So nothing against Philip. He's an interesting guy and a heck of a character. But to me, I completely agree with what you said, and I'll even say that maybe the only thing worse than this is the fans versus favorites format, because the fans get steamrolled. I mean, both times that happened, the fans got steamrolled. And the first time it was better because they actually had actual fans on the show. The second time they had a couple super fans and a bunch of recruits. I think it would be really interesting if you did not a half and half, but like a 3-tribe format of super fans, casual fans, and returnees, or something like that.
Yeah.
I've mentioned that before in a previous post. I think that'd be a cool thing to do for just the sake of having it a little more balanced, a little more fun. But yeah, like you said, having it half or a couple players here and there is terrible. I mentioned the example when we were talking earlier about Game Changers. Season 34. It was all returnees, but it was 4 or 5 legendary players and a bunch of. I mean, what do you think is going to happen? Yeah. You have the best of the best go against, who are statistically outnumbered. And I mean, like I said, and yes, they made their mistakes. The winners should have all teamed up and stayed together. But even if they did that, they're making a bigger target on themselves anyways because they don't have the numbers. It just didn't. It's not a good thing to have, people who are complete outliers. They're gonna get picked off, or at the end they're gonna win. And either way, it's not. It's just not a good. I don't like doing it that way. I don't like seeing it. You got half the players are of this type or that type. You gotta. I think it's like you said. Have all winners, all returnees, all whatever, or have enough where it's like I said. If you did a 3-tribe format with 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, like I said, Game Changer was supposed to be originally winners versus pre-merge versus jury members, and it was 6 players from each.
Yeah.
And it was going to be an 18 person season and 6-on-6, and you could switch stuff up and whatever.
Right.
And that would have been cool because it's enough. It's an even balance of each type. But if you're going to do it, I said I would even be okay with the winners versus losers, right? People win the season against people who are first out or runner up or whatever. But you got to even it out.
Yes.
If you're going to do it, if you're going to do fans versus favorites or returning players. You have to cast really good, fans who know the game, and you have to cast, enough returnees to make it a balance.
Yeah.
Fans versus favorites 1 was way better than the fans versus favorites 2 because they actually had, people who knew the game. They still got crushed, but at least it was closer.
Right.
Where in the second time they did it, the fans didn't have a chance. But I think it's even. You gotta give it more than just there's 4 fans. Or 4 returnees against 14 other people. What are those other people going to do? I mean, it makes sense to put them out.
Right.
And maybe not right immediately, but sooner rather than later.
Yeah, they're not going to keep them. Why would they?
They shouldn't. And if they do, they deserve to lose. So, I definitely agree. So, let's go to key moment number 3 of the episode. Again, this was, Aubrey was a target, and Joe was kind of on the outs, and David and Kelly are kind of on the outs too because of that, because of the returnees being the targets. I just think it's kind of again they did it for Redemption Island, and the returning player took control of the tribe and went to the end in both those seasons. So the players can win and whatever, but I think it's not. I don't think it's a good setup for them. But we'll see how it turns out. I don't like it. I'm not a big fan of this idea. I think if you're gonna have 1 person on each tribe, maybe, but 2, just now there's there's 2 of them. So now it's not 1 person we can forget about and let slip through. Now it's in the front of their minds. I'm not a big fan.
Yeah.
Third key moment though is I wrote down Keith flounders in the water. Obviously Keith said he didn't know how to swim. He's learned how to swim for Survivor. Didn't learn well. Struggled in the water. Struggled with the challenge. Couldn't land the ring toss. What do you think?
I mean, I don't know why you would go on a show if you can't really swim. You're on an island. You know you're going to swim for challenges, so you got to practice. You got to be better at it before you go. The challenges are tough for, everybody. The ring toss is not his thing, but he tried. I don't know. He did keep them back.
He held them back, no doubt. I mean, they said that Chris had to stop and help him, and that slowed him up. And that time advantage. Who knows? Who knows what they get? If Keith keeps up with the rest of them, doesn't hold them back. They get maybe 6-7 extra tosses they didn't get before. Maybe those land and they win.
I don't think it was all him though. They struggled so much with the snake getting in out of the cage and over, and they don't have a ton of strong people on that team either.
They don't have Joe. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But no, I agree. I mean, I would say their guys aren't as strong as the guys on the other side. The girls might be a little bit stronger.
Yeah.
But it's negligible, the difference. So I agree with you. Keith, do you think it's worth? Do you think he should get voted out for it? I think that's why he. Think it was worth him. You think he was bad enough to get voted out? Is that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really think he was going to get any better throughout. He didn't do well in the first challenge. Didn't do well in the second challenge. It's not like he's going to really get that much better to help them.
I agree, and I think, like I said, I always say, make the easy votes early. Mm-hmm. Early votes, as I said, David Bloomberg has the rules to Survivor, and one of them, which was highly contested rule, was vote the weak then the strong, then the weak then the strong, and early on you vote the weak players.
Yeah.
Vote out whoever's weak early, keep the strong players to win challenges, and I said, look through the winners of 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. I'll keep going. Those players don't go to tribal council early.
Yeah. They
win the early challenges. You get to the merge, up in the numbers. It's way easier to play the game when you have numbers. Mm-hmm. It's way easier to play the game when your team vote out the members of the other team, and now it's you against the rest of the members of your team.
Yeah.
It's way easier to play that way. So winning early is huge. Mm-hmm. If you look at players who've gone to the first tribal council the last couple seasons, not very many have won the game.
Yeah.
I mean, Ben did go to the first tribal council, but they only went to one.
What about Nick?
Nick did too, but again...
He went to a lot of tribal councils.
Early.
But even later, when he was only with, Angelina, Mike, and... I don't remember who else.
Yeah, Lyrsa and all them. They went to a bunch, and that was maybe the one exception to this rule. Mm-hmm. But, Ben went to one early. Mm-hmm. He went to the first one, but didn't go to another one for a while.
Yeah.
Wendell went to one, the third vote, didn't go to another one for a while. Mm-hmm. You go back further than that. I mean, all the winners of the previous seasons, most of them, don't go to very many tribal councils early. Mm-hmm. They have the numbers that merge, and they're able to make moves. It's winning challenges is your number one focus early.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe big strong guy is not helping the morale and he's being a jerk, so vote him out. But and that's again big part of the reason. Look at the first boots in the seasons. A lot of them are older women. The hardest position to play is older women on Survivor.
I know that.
What's that?
Nothing.
Okay.
You're an old woman.
I am an old woman,
okay.
But it's statistically it's hard, and you look at that's why we say a lot of women don't have been way fewer women than men have won the game because of that reason too. You're gonna vote somebody out early. You're gonna vote the stronger. You're gonna keep the stronger person over the weaker person. Physically, most of the men are physically stronger than most of the women. It's just body type. It's just the way it is. I don't like it. I wish it wasn't the case. But like I said, if you have a physically fit female who is it's nice alliteration by the way, who's got a great social game, I think she's your number one. I think she's your top pick on the board, which I'm liking your pick, Julia, for that reason. She's physically fit, she's smart, she's a good talker, she's good socially, she's not getting a ton of airtime, which is a concern for me.
No, she's not.
But I think that's your type of person you want to have, though. I think, and that's, it's tough to do that, but I really would love to see that type of character really step up. And we got off topic a little bit of the whole Keith thing here, but my point being that if you're not physically good in challenges, you're gonna struggle early, and that's why people get voted out early. Is they're just not that good in challenges, and that's a problem. Yeah. So I think the right vote is to vote out the weaker person first. I think that's the right move. The person who's holding back in challenges, because if you go, you could be the greatest player of all time. You could be the Kim Spradlin of Survivor, of your tribe. But guess what? If Kim would have lost every challenge, and she got to the merge, and her tribe was down, 8-4, she's not winning the game.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how good you are. If you don't have numbers, you can't do much.
Yeah.
So winning challenges early, getting numbers, growing your squad, that's what you need to do early. So let's move on now to the top 3 and bottom 3. This one's going to be pretty straightforward. There's not a ton that nobody really jumped off the page. It was like, oh, they're awesome, they're killing it, or they're doing terrible. It was pretty simple, and I think it was, again, it seemed like another straightforward vote, too. I mean, there was like, Wendy voted a different way, Keith voted a different way, and look, based on the numbers of votes, it looks like everybody else voted for Keith.
Yeah.
So it looks like a pretty straightforward vote. So, that being said, I put in my bottom 3, I put Wendy in the bottom 3. Just because she didn't do anything this week. In fact, she probably had a better week than the week before.
No.
She's a loyal person, they like that, but she's still on the bottom. I mean, again, if it comes down to it, who we're going to vote out next, if they have to go to another tribal council, maybe it's Wentworth, it's also probably Wendy.
Well, yeah, she's not doing anything. They're keeping her there for the benefit of that they could suck her into being loyal to them. That's
Absolutely.
the only reason she's still there.
Absolutely. Completely right, and that's, you're holding on to her because could be a number for you, not because you want her.
Right, exactly.
Absolutely. 2 up without Aubrey, and it was just, again, who knows? It just, what we see on TV is maybe different from what's actually happening, but she had literally the same conversation, like 5 times.
Exactly.
She word for word, like, you're kind of like me. We're kind of similar. We play a similar game.
Yeah.
I think we should work together. And then and that's not bad. Boston Rob did that 7 times with different people on his tribe. The problem is none of them talk to each other.
Yeah.
That's smart. You're smart to have those similar conversations, bring people in, make that bond, make them think they're number one. That's what Kim did. Kim was maybe the greatest of all time. That's what she did. She talked to everybody, said, you're my number one, and you're my number one, you're my number one, you're my number one. We're going to the end together. She had like 9 people who thought they were going to the end of the game with her.
Kind of like a drunk chick at a bar that's like going up to everybody saying, "You're my new best friend."
Right, exactly, exactly. Kim is the greatest drunk chick of all time, basically. And Boston Rob is a great drunk chick too. He's got 4 girls at home. He probably
doesn't even matter.
Exactly, and he, and that's the thing though, right? I mean, you have that conversation. They all think that you're you're the ride or die. You're the number one, and
Ride or die.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And they all think you're the number one, and you're going the end with them until you're only going the end with one of them.
Yeah.
And that's the best way to play it. It's the best way to play it. The problem is when all those people talk to each other, because they're like, "Wait, I thought I was going the end with them. Oh, I thought no, they said you were going with me. No, they said we're going with you." And now everybody's talking. Now nobody trusts you, and you're blown up.
Yeah.
That used to happen a lot in the earlier days of Survivor, and now people kind of learned not to do that so much. But
she's got the biggest target anyways because she's a returning player, so everybody's watching her anyways.
True.
So that didn't help.
Right, and if you're gonna do that, have that conversation, you gotta control the game. And for her, they're kind of, the players are, to their credit, are keeping the returners at a bit of an arm's length, which is good, and it's smart for them to do that. It's interesting to see. I put her on there though because she was literally having the same conversation. People are talking about it, like, "Oh, she said to you. Oh, she said to me too."
Right.
And so I put her there just for that reason. But I don't know. She's not necessarily playing a bad game or anything. We haven't seen her go to tribal yet, so who knows? But she said she would rather go to tribal early once or twice to kind of see where everybody stands because the kumbaya doesn't work, and her tribe her first season went to tribal a couple times and they found out where everybody really stood. They could have just been pretending the whole time.
Yeah.
But they found out where everybody really stood. So that's
right.
Interesting to see how what happens with her going forward. And finally, last one I put on the bottom 3 list was Wentworth again. She's getting close to getting voted out. My opinion.
Yeah.
I think she's getting. She's kind of. Again, maybe she's on the show. We don't know. But according to the editing, and maybe the editing just trying to fool us. But the way I see it, I see that she's. It's like they said. They've mentioned it on the show this week. When your name comes up, it's up.
It's gonna keep coming.
It's gonna keep coming up. I'd rather not people not even know who I am. Hey, how do you spell your name? It's Joey. That's how you spell my name. Okay, write that down. It's I don't care. Just don't you don't need to know my name. I'm not even tell my name. shut up, because I don't want it to come up. Because if it comes up, then it's gonna keep coming up, and I think that's where we're with this right now.
Guy that's laying over there. I don't know his name, but we're just gonna put guy in the corner.
Guy in the corner,
Yeah.
or what was it? Bye bye Denver Diva was I think season 5. Clay Jordan wrote down he didn't know the person's name. He knew her name, but he just didn't like her, so he didn't call her by her name. Mm-hmm. So he voted for Denver Diva. And Jeff Probst's like, "Who's the vote for?" It was one of the funny moments of the season. It was one of the funny moments I've ever seen. Jeff was like, "Write down their actual name next time." He's like, "Okay, sorry." It was amazing. So like that
Jeff doesn't like that.
No, he doesn't like that. I mean, he's way more low key now. He doesn't really care as much. But season 5, he was starting to get his. He's starting to. This is my show now. It was great. But yeah, long story short, I don't. Once the name's up, it's gonna be up. So I think what she needs, honestly, is she's not gonna find Alex that I found the one on her beach.
Yeah.
She needs to swap. She needs to swap, and she needs to swap with maybe once they get down to 14, or actually probably after next week, 15. Get on 15, they'll probably do 3 tribes of 5, and she needs a couple returnee or 2 on that tribe with her so she can take control, and then the returnees can work together. But the problem is her and David Wright never were close, right? And David said it. He said, "I have no loyalty to her. She has no loyalty to me," and that's she's not on. If there's one other returnee for her not to be with, it'd be David. Because they just have no relationship, outside of the game. So, she's not a great spot, and she's definitely in some trouble, especially if they don't swap and she stays there and they keep losing.
She got a target anyways because she's a returning player. So
absolutely,
no matter what, unless she's with returning players, she's gonna be in a lot of trouble.
Right, and the only thing to keep in mind is Kelly was a pre-merge boot once.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she was voted out, in the early, right after swap, kind of swap screwed a little bit, definitely swap screwed, but. Everybody else has made the merge every time they played, so she's the one who hasn't. So maybe it's better for her to go out early because she'll know what it's like. I don't know.
Don't get a taste of something you can't have.
Right, exactly. So I don't know, but she needs a swap, and she needs a favorable swap soon. And I would say that if they can win this next, somehow beat Joe and win the next challenge, I would predict they're gonna swap at 15 and go from now 3 tribes of 5. Because Survivor loves that shit now. They love that swap 3 tribes. They love that they've had 3 tribes at least for one time every season since 30. And they didn't do it in 29, but they did it in 28.
Okay.
So since they started doing this 3 tribe thing, they've been just in love with it. So I assume they're gonna do it this season. That would be the first season they didn't do it. If they don't, so. I'm guessing one more vote, get down to 15, and then they'll probably swap the 3 tribes to 5. So let's talk about a little more positive side. Let's talk about the top 3 players of the week. I just do in reverse order. Number 3, I have David Wright. What do you think of David Wright and how he's playing?
I mean, he's making a good alliance with Rick. He's making a good connection with him, so he's probably safe for a while. I don't think he played spectacular, but he's definitely put himself in a better spot to work with everybody.
Right, and what I feel about David Wright, the Survivor player and TV writer, not the baseball player. He, what he's doing, and I like this, is first season he played, he was paranoid as hell. He was terrible in challenges. People thought he was throwing challenges when he was playing.
Yeah.
He was just that bad at them. Now he's a little better at challenges. It's not good, but he's better. Mm-hmm. He's less paranoid, so he's able to have more of a social game. Mm-hmm. And people aren't like. Because you're someone who's paranoid and is freaking out all the time. If they screw you over after you coddle them and got them through the game, they're gonna hate you. Right. It's like why does if the older lady who gets to the end, she gets shredded? Why? Because your mom stabs you in the back. That's how it feels like. And so they get lit up if they get the final trial. People hate that. How did I was there for you. I was there for you. You're my mom. You voted me out. You can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different thing, right?
Yeah.
So I think David now, the good news is with him is he's not really doesn't seem that paranoid. Doesn't seem like he's like that much out of place. He's definitely got his feet under him a little bit, and he's not a Joe where he's gonna be out in front, being a giant threat. He's not He's much more middle of the pack than he used to be. I guess is what I'm trying to say. He's not that overtly great at challenge. He's not terrible holding them back. He's not crazy strategic, not crazy social. He's just kind of, right there in the middle.
Yeah.
And I think that's where of all the returnees, I think he's in the best spot just because he's only played one other time. He's not played twice before. He's also very much much more of an average person. He's a writer in LA, so he's not that average, but.
Yeah.
For a Survivor player, he is. He's right there. He's like the Mike White. He's like the from last season. He's like the, he's like the Wendell almost. And Wendell was a cool guy. He was always calm. He was a calming presence. David's not that to that extent, but Wendell wasn't the best in challenges. He wasn't the most strategic. He was a nice guy. People liked him, but he wasn't overt. He wasn't like overtly like playing a hardcore social game that people saw through. He just seemed like he's a genuinely nice guy.
Right.
And I think that's where David is right now. I think David's just kind of just doing his thing, and he's the best spot of all any returns. I think. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree. I think out of anybody, he's got the best chance.
For sure. As far as Lauren, I put down Lauren for number 2. Just because she found an idol, and a lot of
kept it to yourself.
Right. That's the key. A lot of new players, especially with playing. She said her favorite players ever were Parvati and Wentworth. You're playing with one of your favorite players of all time. If I was playing with Fishback or Rob C, guess what? If I found out, I'd be like, oh my god, I found an idol, that's so cool. And they'd vote me out immediately, right? That's what they would do. But because I'd be like, oh my god, I want to tell my hero,
right?
My Survivor hero that I did something cool in Survivor, right? Or
you can see when it airs, honey.
Right, and there's nobody to talk to out there. There's nobody you can run through the scenarios with, stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So, you want to tell somebody. It burns a hole in your pocket, for sure. Lauren, I guarantee you wanted to tell Wentworth that she found the idol.
Yeah. Okay.
But she didn't, and that's smart. So I think that's why she's in the top 3. And I put number 2 just, not, because finding an idol is one thing, but finding an idol and keeping it a secret and all that is way smarter. And again, women don't find idols a lot on Survivor, so the fact that she found one and she's the one who went out and got it, is a good thing. You could tell by the edit that she was going to find it, but still, it's good to see that she went out and actually did it and got the job done, and kept it to herself, which is the key.
Right.
I've put down my number 1 player of the week is Rick, and it's been weird because they're the whole time they're calling Devin. I'm like, is that Kevin? Who are you talking about? I didn't think there was a Kevin on the season. Devin's from season 35. Who's this? Devin. Rick Devin. Okay, now I know. So they've been calling him Devin, so I guess we can call him Devin. But yeah, Rick has had a good episode this week. I think he really his bond with David Wright could be a big thing for him too. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, he's gotten tons of airtime lately. He's kind of working with both sides, considering everything. I mean, he voted for Keith, so he's working with everybody, working with the majority of it. Yeah, and Chris was kind of the swing vote this week, and War Dog was on Team Wentworth, and I think David and Rick were kind of more on. Let's keep Keith. But at the end of the day, it's one of the things where if everybody's going that way, you just go with it and don't make waves. I think Rick is one of those people where if he's eventually going to have to pick a side, and it could really upset some people when he does that. But I think he feels like he's kind of one of the weird guys, the nerdy guy, the goofy guy, but also he fits in because he's got that outgoing. He's a news anchor, right? Exactly. Yeah. He knows how to, he's from the same world almost as David, right?
And they're similar people, so I think that's a good bond for both of them. I like that a lot. I think that's gonna carry them a long way. I think, but it's good that he can kind of fit into, like you said, fit into both sides. If it's hard to be the Wentworth because Wentworth is the target, or to be the, even a Lauren, because when you're obviously in this one camp. The other side isn't going to target you, not work with you. Right. Rick isn't going to be targeted by the nerds because he could fit in with them. Right. They see him as that way. The Wendy's, not to call them nerds, Wendy's and Keith and all them. He fits in with them. So that's. He won't be a target. He won't be a target until he has to pick a side, and then both sides thinks he's with them. And he stabs one in the back. Yes. And he's the Jonathan Penner. I screw over them. And I'm just a complete bastard. Or I screw up the other guys, and I'm a complete bastard. So it's I think that's he could find himself in that spot if he's not careful. But right now he's right in the middle, and doing a great job. So I put Rick as my player of the week.
Yeah,
Cool.
I agree.
Any final parting thoughts before we wrap it up tonight?
No, I think we covered most of it. No. Excited to see what's going to happen next, who's going to get kicked off next. And if the tribe, why can't I think of the name?
Wentworth tribe or the
Yeah,
tribe?
Wentworth.
Yeah.
If their tribe's going to win next tribal, or next, immunity challenge.
It'll be interesting to see, right? I mean, I kind of want to see what the dynamics of that other tribe is, because we really haven't seen much, even camp life with them. It's been focusing on the David and Wentworth side of it more than the Joe and Aubrey. I'm afraid Joe's even on the season. He doesn't seem like he's, other than the challenges, he doesn't seem like he's been even getting confessionals. Maybe he has.
Might be a good thing for him right now. I mean, maybe not the confessionals, but he's not all over.
Right. And he's, Joe. Yeah, I mean, I can about Joe before the merge, unless there's some swap where you're just like, I'm trying to, like for example, if there's a swap at 5 and it's 2 members of one tribe, 3 of the other tribe, and Joe's in the minority, then yeah, throw the challenge and get rid of Joe.
Yeah.
Because who cares? But at that point, so I don't know. It's interesting to see. I would personally like to see what they can do. I would love to see what that dynamic of the tribe is, because I don't really know.
Right.
We haven't really seen much. But I think if Wentworth tribe loses again, it's gonna be very interesting to see. It could definitely come down to Wendy or Wentworth again, and I don't see Wentworth surviving a third tribal. I just don't see it.
I don't think so.
But you want to make a prediction? You want to think what do you think's gonna happen, or just say if it's this tribe, that tribe?
I'm just gonna wait and see what happens. You like to pick ahead of time. I like to see what's gonna play out.
That's fair enough, and I think Wentworth. I think if they lose it again, I think Wentworth's gone. If they don't, it's so hard to see, because the other tribe just don't. I can't see that dynamic. I don't know. It's hard. It's really hard.
I mean, the one girl that has an Etsy shop. I don't know her name. Rachel or can't remember names.
Yeah, that's how much airtime I'm getting. It's tough.
Yeah.
Is that Julie?
No, that's not Julie.
Okay.
Julie's. Yeah, that's my winner picture. Not
No,
that
Julia.
person.
It's
Julia.
okay.
Oh, is it Julie?
I think it's Julie.
Maybe. I don't know. I didn't know this.
I don't know. There's a Julie and a Julia.
I don't know.
It's like Natalie and Natalia.
Yeah.
Dumb.
Okay.
Can't you find people with different names?
No.
You put a Davy on the David tribe, idiots. Anyways, moving on. So, that's it. That's all I have for you today. Definitely subscribe. Definitely give us your feedback. Comment on the post here. Follow me on Twitter. Yo grab a Gab. Follow Jessica on Twitter.
Just T820.
Say that again.
Just T820.
Awesome. So make sure you follow her. And comment on the post. Email us, pavementroadproductions@gmail.com, pavementroadproductions@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook at Pavement Road Productions. Like I said, we're looking for some feedback. So let us know what you think. Let us know. Comment away. Share your thoughts. Email, tweet, whatever. Let us know what you think, because we want somebody who wants to take. If you have an opinion, we want to hear it. So let us know it. And if you want to get on the show the next couple weeks, you gotta give us some reason to bring you on. So you gotta have a hot take. We need some hot takes. We don't need any of those ice cold takes. So other than that, I think that's all we have for you today. Definitely follow us and stay in contact. We're excited to see what happens next week. I know that next week is gonna be depending on who goes to tribal council, what happens, it could be a very exciting week, and we'll see how it turns out. But for now, I think it's time to wrap it up. So, anything else? Are you good?
Been good.
You're good.
Yeah.
I got nothing else for you.
No.
Because as always, the tribe has spoken. Good night.
Bye, guys.